Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. This video is going to be in honor of Aquarians all around the world. We're already in Aquarius season, yes. And I wanted to go a little bit over the sign of Aquarius and what Aquarius stands for, and then some of the aspects that are going to be happening throughout the month or throughout the rest of January, anyways. Aquarius is a sign that takes us beyond the individual self and into a higher consciousness. It is the water bearer, pouring forth libations for the collective. Yet, according to mythology, it is not just water it is pouring, it is a new consciousness. And it invites us to fine-tune our awareness to new waves of evolution, where it's all about innovation, revolution, and free-thinking humanitarian progressions. It's a beautiful time to tune into your own understanding of a higher consciousness, your own vaster knowing, cosmic guidance, and potentials that are waiting for you, becoming that vessel for new energy to stream forth through the mind and into your visioning for this year ahead and beyond. All right, I'm going to stop being cheesy. So anyway, today, big day today, right? January 20th. It is Martin Luther King Day, and it is the inauguration day. Powerful day today. Sun conjunct Pluto day, actually. And I guess it's not going to be exact until tomorrow, or at least it's already happening right now, but I guess more exact tomorrow. Pluto, as we know, whatever Pluto touches, it transforms, right? It brings more intensity, more depth there. So if you have your sun in Aquarius, or anything in Aquarius for that matter, doesn't even, Pluto kind of making its way through that is going to bring depth and some transformative experience. But I'm going to just speak about it a little bit in a generalized way. So with the recent movement of Pluto into Aquarius, where it will remain for the next 2 decades, whenever a planet enters the realm of Aquarius, it simultaneously meets and conjuncts Pluto. And while Aquarius opens our minds to higher consciousness and new frequencies, Pluto brings us down into our own underworld, swimming in depth, emotion, and sacred transformation. The purpose of any Pluto transit or aspect is that of empowerment. That is the main purpose. It is to bring down an old structure that no longer serves you, letting it die and fall away, and then building up new. That is the whole purpose of Pluto. That's all Pluto loves doing that shit. All day, every day, okay? That's what he lives on. I mean, some could say that he's one toxic mother. You get what I mean. But it's for the betterment. It's for the betterment of ourselves and for the collective, whether it is a collective thing or a personal thing. There's always a purpose there. As the light of the sun and the light of our awareness are brought into the underworld of our psyche, it allows for awareness of our patterns, our emotions, our fears, anything that's held power over us, okay, unconsciously directing our lives. That is what Pluto is going to point out to you. It's going to wake you up and say, hey, hello, wake up. You can't keep living this way. You're not directing yourself anymore. Do you see what's happening behind here that you experienced 20 years ago and you're still allowing it to affect you? Yeah, that can't happen anymore. And it's from this space of awareness that we can bring healing, presence, and transmutation to those spaces so we can consciously choose again. So that's about consciously choosing again, being able to make decisions from the very core of us, versus out of fears or being unconsciously directed, right? So that's how you truly take your power back. All right. Then our next one here. Mercury will move into Aquarius on January 27th. That's my birthday. Yes. As Mercury joins the sun and enters Aquarius, we are invited to mentally approach things from an entirely new vantage point, and unique out-of-the-box perspectives are more favored now. This pairing in our cosmos opens our minds to become a receiver, much like a radio, to new ideas, truths, perspectives, and information awaiting our awareness there. It is where we are attuning to the new, becoming somewhat of a bridge for the future to come into the present. As Mercury enters Aquarius, it will conjunct Pluto, bringing the conscious and unconscious mind together, bringing insights and messages from a deeper aspect of our awareness. And then we'll have Uranus going direct finally at the end of January. It's going to be on January 30th. It's been in retrograde ever since last year, September 1st. It's a long time. Yeah, it's been retrograde since then. 4-month retrograde. So Uranus stations direct this month, opening the cosmic doors, ushering in more energy, direction, and intuitive knowing for our path ahead. The planet of change, revolution, evolution, and innovation, Uranus opens and changes whatever it touches. It breaks down structures so that new possibilities can be planted. And it moves with the intention of liberation, freedom, and personal and collective growth for us all. So it's going to be in Taurus for a little bit longer before entering into the sign of Gemini for the first time in over 76 years. 76 years ago. It's going to be in July of 2025 when it enters into Gemini. While it's been in Taurus, though, it's really been highlighting. It's been highlighting a beautiful paradox. The more we are in our bodies and rooted in the tangible, the more we have access to the intangible. The higher consciousness, sharp intuition, and heightened awareness of Uranus. So Uranus in Taurus has been and will continue breaking open our relationship with security, finances, liberation, individuality, belonging, and freedom. It is bringing in a new way to relate to the earth and to the wisdom of our own bodies. And it's working with us to expand our comfort zones, increasing our capacity for more of who we are to be grounded in our lives. So it's been testing us. It's been in the US 6th house. So that has brought, I was just talking about this. That's right. So that has really brought a huge change in regards to our health system. The way that we function, our routines have been flipped upside down. I mean, just think ever since 2018, when Uranus went into the sign of Taurus. I would say the world was flipped upside down in regards to our routines and jobs, health, all that stuff. Because Uranus, it comes to shake things up, and cause chaos, because that's what he's good at. But it's also kind of like Uranus is almost like it's almost like the mentally ill. It's like Pluto's mentally ill brother. Because Uranus also transforms as well, but in a more chaotic and crazy way. Some people say it's the higher octave of Pluto or Saturn, and I don't know. I mean, maybe higher octave if you mean like mentally insane and unstable. What else do I want to go over? I wanted to go over. Oh, yes. So on today in particular, I wanted to go over some of the aspects that are happening to, or with the collective North Node. So right now, the North Node is going direct, and it's at 29 degrees Pisces, and it's at the anaretic degree, which signals massive change. It's a turning point in the collective. The North Node right now is sextiling the Sun in Aquarius, 2 degrees, applying. So this is even more potent when it applies. The purpose harmonizes motivation in that aspect, because North Node represents purpose. It represents the direction that we're going, that we're heading. And making such a harmonious aspect to the Sun in that way speaks of very good things, that we're on the right path, that things are meant to go this direction. And the stone for that is the moonstone and the solar plexus. So now we're going to look at really all the major chakras that are involved on this day. So that's the first one, moonstone and solar plexus. Solar plexus is our motivation, our confidence, our drive is there. Then we also have North Node conjuncting Neptune in Pisces at 1 degree, but it's separating. So that is where purpose unites imagination. It aligns us to see a beautiful future, to have optimism, but not to a point where it's delusional. And that's why the separating part of it is very important. I think if it's applying, it could get to that point of delusion. But since it's just this nice influence to add to the overall energy collectively, that is what it brings. The purpose of our direction is united with the positive visions we have for our future going forwards. And the stone for that that whole aspect is amethyst, and the chakra for that is the third eye. So now we have the solar plexus, confidence, motivation, drive, and the third eye, which represents our intuition, our knowing, our inner knowing that's connected to the spiritual realms. And then we have the North Node in Pisces sextiling Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees, and it's applying. So what kind of aspect is this? This is where purpose harmonizes power. Purpose harmonizes power. And this is all about being grounded in our direction, knowing that this is a pivotal moment in our lives for the better, for big change and necessary change. The stone for that is the black onyx stone and the root chakra. So we have the solar plexus, which is motivation, drive, confidence. We have the third eye, which is all about our intuition, all about our higher mind, our soul consciousness. Then we have the root chakra, which is the most important, especially when you live in reality, this world that is filled with harsh truths. But that's the game of life, right? And if you want to play the game of life in a successful way, you have to be rooted. You have to have a healthy root chakra that keeps you grounded, that keeps you centered, that keeps you actually connected to Earth. So, and it balances you out. So overall opportunities for the energies that are happening right now on this day, January 20th. And let's not forget that it is also Martin Luther King Day. That makes it even more beautiful, because this truly is a divine union of the collective soul. All of us are here together on missions to elevate ourselves, to ascend. And the only way we can ascend is by helping each other, being there with each other, and cheering each other on, essentially. And knowing that we need to work together and not be separate. It's all about unity consciousness. But what we're taught from birth is separatism consciousness, right? Or separated consciousness. When essentially the true meaning of ascension and the true abilities to feel that soul ascension is when we get better at tapping into the unity consciousness, not cult-like. I'm not talking about hive mind shit, okay? Not talking about that. That's a completely different topic. However, you could also say that it is the polar opposite, right? Because when you have one thing that exists, it cannot exist without its opposite existing as well. So you just have to be able to tell the difference. And on top of that, we have to be willing to accept that we're constantly in the battle of balancing out, trying to play the balancing act, because we're not perfect. We're human beings and we come here to fall. Okay. We come here to fall a lot and, fail several times before we can really get the message and get the lesson and continue moving. So anyways, but yeah, the opportunities now is harnessing our intuitive understanding, developing our own personal power, because with Pluto being in the sign of humanity, which is Aquarius represents humanity as a collective. That is exactly what it's about. That's all that it's about. And we're going to be on that journey for a while. The goals are avoiding power games, balancing the intuition, and awareness of oneself. Being aware of, yes, others' manipulative tactics, but also make sure that you're aware of your own manipulative tactics as well. So that's what it's about, avoiding power games. And the affirmation is, I am capable of embracing change and unleashing my true potential. It's a good affirmation, right? There's just one other aspect that I wanted to point out, though. Even though it's not huge, it's significant, and it's also applying on this day. Mars retrograde in Cancer is making a sextile aspect to Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And that aspect is called the catalyst of change. Just that aspect together. It drives and harmonizes individuality. It is at 1 degree applying. That's the aspect. And the stone for that one is the tiger's eye, and it's the sacral chakra. 2 major planets retrograde. If they were not retrograde, it would have a completely different energy, let me tell you. Usually Mars and Uranus combining together, it creates warlike atmospheres. It creates more of like if it's in a nice aspect, like a sextile, it would be more like spontaneity and partying, indulging, craziness. But it makes such a huge difference when it's retrograde, when they're both in retrograde motion. It expresses itself more subtly, it's more balanced. And actually, it's the very thing that teaches us how to find control and inner balance within ourselves. And it's proof that even the most chaotic of frequencies can find balance and find that sacred silence, right? That the sacred harmony within. So, especially with the combination of the tiger's eye, which is very masculine, and the sacral chakra, which is a very sensitive area. That's the womb. That's a feminine part. or at least we link it more towards the feminine body. But that's also where we hold our creativity as well, because you can procreate through the sacral chakra. So in ways, this is helping us to find direction in how we create in life. All right, so now, before I end this, I would like to go over the rest of January throughout the days, other transits to be aware of. So tomorrow, obviously, I talked about Sun and Pluto conjunct in Aquarius, right? Bringing powerful transformation to matters of individuality and community. The conjunction encourages deep self-awareness and invites you to step into your power in a way that benefits the collective, not just yourself. Embrace your unique role in shaping the world. And then on January 23rd, we have Mars in Cancer, sextile Uranus in Taurus. Actually, that's what I just went over. I just went over that aspect. But they're in retrograde, right? And it's like, it's a spark of innovation, bringing fresh energy to your actions. It's being able to have a spontaneity that is balanced. So, but also inspiring discoveries about yourself, about your routines, about your creative pursuits. Then we have Mercury in Capricorn. That's going to be opposing Mars in Cancer. That's also going to be on the 23rd of January. That's going to be a push and pull in communication, possibly. So tensions could arise if words are too forceful or they come off too forceful. So just learn to practice patience and focus on expressing yourself with both clarity and empathy to avoid any misunderstandings that you have with others. Then also on the 23rd, Mercury in Capricorn is going to make a trine to Uranus and Taurus. So on that day, it's great for mental breakthroughs and fresh ideas. With Mercury and Uranus working in harmony, it's an ideal time for brainstorming and problem solving. Let yourself think outside the box and embrace unconventional perspectives. Then on the 25th of January, we have Venus in Pisces making a trine aspect to Mars in Cancer. This trine brings warmth and harmony to our relationships, creating a gentle flow between emotions and desire. It's a beautiful day for connecting with loved ones or enjoying creative and romantic pursuits. Let this supportive energy enhance closeness and intimacy. And then on January 26th, we will have Mercury sextiling Neptune in Pisces. That brings a softening in our communication. It adds more of a touch of empathy. So it's a great day for creative writing or having compassionate conversations, letting your intuition guide you in your interactions with others. So a great day to allow your imagination to color your thoughts. And then also on the 26th, that day, we will have Venus in Pisces making a sextile aspect to Uranus and Taurus. Of course, with it still being retrograde, right? But this is a lovely sextile that invites spontaneity and excitement into our relationships and finances. Embrace new experiences with an open heart and allow connections to grow in unexpected ways. Surprises can bring joy if you stay adaptable and curious. And then on January 29th, we have Mercury in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius conjuncting. I already talked about this too, but yeah, it's intensifying of thoughts and communication. So this encourages profound insights and courage to speak truthfully about your desires and what you want. It's a powerful day for deep conversations as well and uncovering hidden truths and motivations. Then we'll have the new moon in Aquarius. I did a video on that. And the new moon obviously speaks of fresh ideas. It's the day to set intentions, to innovate yourself, to become a new you in a way, like setting intentions for for not only yourself but the community that you will be working with throughout the year. The planting of the seeds of change, so to speak. But you can go visit that video if you'd like. Then, of course, on January 30th, we're going to have Sun in Aquarius trining Jupiter in Gemini. So that's a good aspect, especially for me, because my sun is in Aquarius and my moon is in Gemini. So it's like, oh, they're going to make a good aspect to each other. But anyways, it's going to be about optimism, being very optimistic, expansive, supporting growth and learning. So use this uplifting energy to pursue your goals with confidence. It's an ideal day for exploring new opportunities and embracing a broader perspective on things. And then on the 31st of January, Venus is going to conjunct Neptune in Pisces. As Venus and Neptune meet a dreamy, romantic atmosphere, it fills the air because Neptune, brings the dreams, brings the fantasy. And then you have Venus in Pisces, which is all about that anyway on its own. You already know. So this conjunction inspires compassion, creativity, and a deep connection to beauty. It's a perfect day for artistic expression, love, and moments that feed the soul. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that day. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's what I have for you. I'm going to be doing more videos on aspects and stuff throughout the month, and possibly a couple other things as well. I might get back to reading some books like before, but we'll see. I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.